Good morning, everyone. This is our Upper State Street Regional Action Plan meeting that occurs every Thursday at 10 o'clock. And I know in terms of the time of day, it's not the most accessible to business owners and residents, and we absolutely understand that. We really prioritize the engagement of our service provider partners, as well as law enforcement and our elected officials on this call. And so this time of day happened to be, the best time that we could engage all of our partners to be able to respond to concerns as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, if not right on the call. So we do record these meetings every single week, unless I forget. I think I only forgot once. We also capture meeting minutes in terms of action items and next steps. And again, priorities for the Upper State Street Regional Action Plan per our discussion each week. So this morning is our first Thursday of the month. So this is specific to our strategy conversation. So this is, again, really understanding the regions that we've prioritized in terms of ongoing observations, concerns, improvements that you've seen or that we've been able to facilitate, again, with partners. As we go into next week, which is our general community concerns week, and we're able to address any concerns that you have. So this is specific to strategy for the RAP, prioritize regions, and again, taking in input for additional regions to prioritize in the area, as well as general strategic approaches for the region itself. We also have Chris Clark on the call today, so we will be able to look into the data reporting from the encampment link that would normally take place last week, but again, everyone is juggling immediate priorities, putting out fires, literal and theoretical, and again, just trying to accommodate when folks are available as they can participate. Any initial kind of announcements, questions, concerns, thoughts to start the morning?
Well, I just want to give an update. Our outreach staff was assigned to part of the Upper State Street area for the point in time count. Mm-hmm. And they informed me they only came across 2 individuals from the point of where they were assigned on Lacumba Road to Colorado. Okay. And they also got assigned by the Gulf Colorado portion of the golf course.
Okay.
Around that area.
And thank you, John, for sharing that update. And we're anticipating within the next 30 to 60 days, we'll have that more comprehensive data from the point in time count and data specific to the city of Santa Barbara, again, for us to be able to focus strategies and tools in every neighborhood in the city. So John, you sharing that data in terms of teams being assigned to that region is really helpful to us. We also know that encampment outreach was conducted separately. So that does not include the number of individuals that are residing in encampments in that region. That was done with professional outreach and case management team partners like CityNet. Again, just making sure that volunteers weren't engaging or walking into encampments, but using the data from the city of Santa Barbara as well as the county of Santa Barbara on where those encampments are located and doing outreach separate from that. So, John,
the other update that I have, and I'm sure saying that in SBPD is well aware of the encampment between the Speedway gas station and the 101 bridge. Our James and Kendra went out there yesterday and they counted about 10 people that are in that encampment. And what they're saying in that encampment is that they all need to be out of there by Monday.
Oh, okay.
And my understanding is that it's Caltrans property, and Caltrans has posted and scheduled that location for removal and cleaning.
Okay, that is really helpful news. Elle and the team at CityNet, as well as myself and Conrad, a resident, were conducting outreach in that area during our site visit last month. And so we counted 11 individuals at that time. And again, in terms of the information being posted. And Al, I wonder in terms of your engagement, I know you're working closely with the county and Caltrans because that isn't city property per se. Have you been able to work with those folks to, again, make sure that they're informed of the timeline and the process?
Yeah, so right now, we're actually going to have our staff be going out there today as well. We have multiple clients that are from the Rose Garden there. So there's two in specific that I know we talked about with the staff this morning that they have a meeting here right now at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So they should be contacting them to kind of see what their next flow was of what's going on. And, we're still offering, shelter beds to see what's available. But just housing is a difficult part, because right now it just seems like they're just moving around just because many of those clients that are from the Rose Garden are document ready. So we're just waiting for housing opportunities.
Exactly. And Al, thanks for reiterating that. I think we counted about 8 of the 11 individuals had been at the Rose Garden Inn. And again, we're either had completed documentation readiness or had just a few documents to be able to finalize, or medical reports and things like that to be able to make that complete. So a couple of things. One is the encampments in that location are being addressed by Caltrans in the County of Santa Barbara and the City of Santa Barbara when appropriate. 2, we can anticipate that there's going to be some movement. So it's, again, important for us to hear from residents and business owners as they kind of observe individuals in the region as a result of the clearing of the encampments at this location. Again, we know that it does result in movement. And so we just want you to be aware and communicate with us regularly. Al has shared his contact information. You can contact myself and Kayla as well with that information, and we can share that with the appropriate provider or law enforcement as necessary. But the encampment report link, as well as the link for individuals of concern, is where that data needs to be collected so that the city is capturing that, able to prioritize the reports that are received, as well as deploying resources as needed. And Kayla, I know we have a number of individuals experiencing vehicular homelessness in the region. And I know you were there last week working with the Safe Parking Program on conducting another round of outreach. Can you share just, again, your experiences from last week?
Yeah, so I was out with Elmer from Safe Parking. He is their resident case manager. We walked the region, and he had also walked the region about a month before. So he's out in the area in that Hope, Lorada, Hitchcock kind of area where we know there are lots of people living in their vehicles, doing outreach, knocking on windows, giving information. But last week we saw 9 vehicles engaged with 1 individual. The rest of folks may have been at jobs or sleeping or whatever, what have you. And we left safe parking materials and NNC cards with all of the vehicles. Just to be able to make connections. There's phone numbers on there, information about the safe parking program, as well as just those NNC cards, being able to direct folks towards more services. But that was our experience. Obviously, we know that it ebbs and it flows. There may be 11 vehicles one day, 9 vehicles the next day, it changes. But I spoke with Elmer after that site visit, and we'll be scheduling another time over the next couple of weeks just to head out there again and engage with folks.
Okay. And a couple of individuals that we've engaged in outreach in that region have made it to the NNCs and have continued that ongoing support, as well as conversations about what their immediate needs are. And again, long-term building rapport and trust to have them embrace engagement with the Safe Parking Program. Sergeant DeJean, anything to report in the Upper State Street region from law enforcement?
Good morning. Honestly, not really. I spent a couple hours up there on bike yesterday. We had one notable arrest at Mackenzie Park with a subject in possession of methamphetamine. Otherwise, the upper north end area was looking pretty good. I know it's not always looking good, but we literally were in every alley and a parking lot that we've discussed. And so I would say yesterday was a fairly calm day, and I feel like that's kind of been the case in the last several weeks. Much more mellow as far as activity goes.
Our teams have observed the same, but I definitely want to open it up to residents in terms of priority areas, again, that we've continued to make sure that we're monitoring both with case management and outreach, as well as law enforcement. Mackenzie Park, Hope, Larada, Hitchcock Way, that kind of back alley connecting Denny's all the way down to the 7-Eleven and a little bit farther, again, as our priority areas. Any input from, I think I see Vicky, Dr. Bickford's on, Terry. Concerns, observations, individuals of concern experiencing homelessness.
I haven't seen any, it's Vicky. I haven't seen any more than usual activity up there. I think everything's pretty much the same. I did want to ask Kayla if the Cadillac, did they get homed?
I'm actually meeting up with the owner of the Cadillac today to talk about some more options. She and her partner were, last I know, still hesitant about the safe parking program. So that's the rapport building that we're doing, is slowly saying, okay, let's move in the direction of stepping into that program and the case management. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, because Dennis said he's now seen them up around, and he thought maybe they were homed because he's seen them on, help me out here, the street that's just past State, runs parallel to State, but just on the mountainside of State, whatever that, it runs between Ontaire and Hope.
Oh,
San Remo?
okay.
Yeah, San Remo. Yeah, he said he's seen them up there the last couple of days.
Okay.
So just FYI.
Thanks for that, Vicky.
Question, with the Coomer Plaza, I know we, I reached out to the owners, and there's this big question with ownership, but they were gonna look at it. Have we noticed, has there been any movement on any of the vegetation or just cleanliness issues of trash and everything that anyone has noticed? Or if not, I can try to reach out to them again.
That's a great question. Vicky, have you noticed any changes that is your direct neighborhood?
Yeah, I haven't been up there. I had a hip replaced 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
so I haven't been up there very much, but now I'm walking more. So I will make my walk in that direction and let you know.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks.
But don't push yourself on recovery.
No, I won't. I'm doing really well and I'm going to stay that way. Thank you.
Okay, good.
And I'll take a look at it too when I'm in that area.
Yeah, I'll do the same. And Kayla, maybe just to highlight, because we're walking that area regularly for outreach for the safe parking program, that we can look over that way too. Natalie, I see that you're on the call this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had a few questions, especially during our site visit last month, about creeks and how those are monitored, and if there are impacts observed there, how they're addressed. Could you share a little bit, kind of just background information in terms of your work and how you prioritize just making sure that the creeks aren't negatively impacted for or regarding, I would say, in that area, as well as the city of Santa Barbara in general?
Sure. Yeah. In the Upper State Street region, I monitor Arroyo Burrow and San Roque. They primarily the areas that go through State, Hitchcock, Hope, and San Remo. And so I, depending on activity that I'm seeing personally, I'll go through and do site inspections in that area 1 to 2 times a week. The past few months, when I knew that PD was doing regular sweeps as well, I think like sometimes the frequency goes down a little bit, because I do get a lot of reports from them and from citizens. And so some of it is kind of just my rotational schedule that I personally go out and do. And then a lot of it is just reporting basis. So that same encampment link that we share every week, the reports involving the creeks. And so that would be in a creek, around a creek, anywhere kind of affecting the creek, that goes to me. And so that link would be what I would share for reporting. There's nothing different really for creeks. There is a water pollution hotline phone number. think off the top of my head, it's 805-897-2688, and I can write that down in the chat. So you can call me directly there to report creeks, but that link works as well. So that's kind of for that area. And then I basically do the same thing all over the city. Typical hotspots are like the downtown corridor and some parts of lower Sycamore Creek. So kind of just do the same thing all over town.
Thank you for doing that work too, Al.
And actually, Natalie, pleasure to meet you. Briefly, I was actually going to be giving you a call today. We've been going out back and forth. So we'll be definitely collaborating and working together to, help the community. And our team, like I said, has been working closely with Chris. I was looking on the outstanding CityNet list. It looks 39 of 39 today. It looks like we have one new one that our team is going to be heading out over there in the alley between the music store and Oasis Motel. I guess there's an individual that's been there sleeping, so we're going to go check that out this morning as well.
Actually, he was picked up. Excuse me. He was. I walked by there this morning. There's just trash there now.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's a good update. Well, our team will still be heading out there because I don't think I'll be able to get that information to them right now. And then I have another meeting at 11:30. So a lot of things going on, but either way, I want them to go out there. That's one thing I want, Sidnet and our team to make a presence. So if you're not familiar, so because of all our scattered site projects, as far as the hotels closing down, it's a beautiful thing to now have our team back out on the streets. We have Saul, Christina, and Brooke that'll be maintaining the waterfront, East Side Milpas and State Street. Right now we're working on Monday, we'll be down Milpas area. Wednesday, we're doing the waterfront area. And then Friday, we're actually, we'll be around State Street, all up and down. And then in between right now, we're really focusing on Tuesdays, we're making for, Salesforce. And then Natalie and I will communicate and see what comes up on her end so we can, go check those areas out as well. They've been keeping up pretty well. Chris can probably attest to that as far as, following through with the calls being put in by the community. And that also gives us time now, like today on this meeting, when we're talking about the Speedy Way and between the 101 of the clearing ups and cleanups, to us, those are the red areas for my team. So that we want to make sure we make immediate contact for those. So we have 2 also other outreach workers. So altogether we'll have 5 out on the street right now, and we're continuing to grow. So continue letting us know where we can help out, and we will do our best to make it happen.
One more thing, if I could add, I did forget to mention my division and the Creeks homeless outreach does work on a more timely, efficient speed. We are kind of more directed under our water quality permit to keep our primary goal is water quality, and so we do end up relocating people a little bit quicker than some of the other divisions in the city. And so I'm really looking forward to partnering more with CityNet and trying to get that outreach, because I do think that there's a little bit less outreach on the Creek side, just because we do tend to have to move people a little quicker.
Okay.
Perfect.
Natalie, I have a question for you. So you said you go on San Remo, and for record, that I live on that street, but it's actually, there's a neighbor that contacted me about it. And the area where there's the 2 trash cans by the island there. So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of activity that goes down into the creek there. And people are they're sleeping under there, they're partaking in drugs, whatever it is. Have you been down there recently and seen anybody down there? And then it's not that one, as well as the one that's a little bit, it's the same creek, Stevens, but it's a little bit further up by Ontario when you cross over it. But in particular on San Remo there, because it's pretty easy to access kind of where the trash cans are. And you go on to one of the residents, actually private property, but it's a small gate, but people use it to get down in the creek. So I'm just wondering what you've observed in that specific creek.
I believe I know the area you're talking about. I've recently been in that on San Remo in Arroyo Burrow Creek, but I think you're talking about San Roque Creek.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
side of it.
Stevens Park. Yeah, it's the one right next to Ontario.
Yeah, so I haven't been over there as of super recently. I've more so been in San Roque, closer to Hitchcock and State. So I haven't been up in that area, but I will add that to my list to go check out either today or next week. But thank you for letting me know that. I typically don't see that much when I am up on San Remo. So my understanding was that the activity was staying a little bit downstream of that. But that's good to know.
It has gone down a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but we noticed it that the residents who live there and I from neighbors and things that it's particularly the access point is on the north side of the street where the larger house is, that basically their property goes into the creek, and you'll see a little fence there that sometimes it's open, sometimes there's shopping carts that are left there. So just if you could check it out and see what's down there, I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you both. Really appreciate that. And so, Chris, I'm just going to turn it over to you because I think it's the perfect transition to you, the reporting from the data that you receive.
Sure, I'm all set up here.
I just want to say, if you see me talking to somebody, I have my interns in here, so I'm trying to talk to her and tell her what some of the acronyms are and just give her a background in here. So if you see me, I'm not talking to myself.
No problem. Thanks for letting us know.
All right, everybody see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And actually, Barbara, looks like there might be someone in the waiting room.
I see it.
There we go.
It's my boss. I'll let him in.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I've shown you guys this new format yet, but we used to kind of do just a slideshow kind of presentation, but we're in the midst of transitioning over to an ArcGIS Esri based platforms for all of the encampment reporting and the data management and all of this, and it's all GIS based. And story maps, which is what you can see here, is one of their products, and it is exactly intended for what it's called. It's a story map. It's a map that's intended to help you tell a story, and this is all kind of in the works. It's all very rough draft, but this is the format of how things will be coming to you guys going forward. So it's just a kind of a website format. You scroll through it, and we're going to end up having some public facing versions of this. So this information will become publicly available. It'll update live with information coming into the city that'll be put up on the map, and it'll automatically jump up onto this information. But here, you're able to take a look at what the reporting link looks like. I've gone ahead and put those links in the chat. And that's all stuff that I think everybody knows. And then those slides that we used to have where we would break things down. Sorry, this one's for the waterfront, but I've got the next one coming through. But this to kind of demo things. This one, we've got the map showing all the different reports that have come in, and you are able to kind of interact with the map. You can take a look at the legend to see what different things mean. You can move it around, you can zoom in. So if we want to take a look at this area, and then even for these different things, you can kind of highlight over things to find out more information about each one. And I'll continue down. And this is going to give us the breakdowns for the different RAP districts. Looks like my map's not working, but that's okay. I'll jump over here. This is the same version of that. This is what it should look like. And on this part of the page, you can jump to whichever RAP you want to look at. So we'll look at the Upper State Street area. And I think the information I've got on here is for the last 3 months. We had, I think it actually comes to 100 reports come through. 63% of those were inhabited encampments, 5% were uninhabited, and then 32 individual and need reports. 21% of those have all been completed and closed out. And what that means on our end is that the outreach has occurred, the cleanup has occurred, and we've actually processed all the invoicing and everything. So the whole package has been processed and closed. Stuff that's in progress, that means there's active outreach, there's active cleanup occurring, or those things have already been done and we're just waiting to process through invoices. So the case is still open, but activity has occurred. This pending new is actually not correct. That shouldn't be pending and new. Sorry, rough draft stuff. That should be reading a different label, but those are things that are just currently getting some outreach, getting visited by staff, getting evaluated to see what kind of response it needs. We'll get that updated, but we can also jump and look over at the map here. And again, everything is interactive. You can look around at different things. If you click on things, it kind of tells you what different things are. You can even click on an individual point, and you can get a little bit more information about what's going on there. You can see the current status of that. So this is that encampment over by the Speedway. You see it's currently in progress because we know Caltrans is going to be cleaning it. We've provided outreach. I'm excited for more possibilities with this program. We should be able to start seeing, being able to display things not only in a geospatial way, but also in a chronological way. So we should start to be able to differentiate, these are the things that are older, these are the things that are newer, and help keep the public and other service providers and everybody more just up to date in what's going on right now, what do things look like in the past. We're hoping just to be more transparent, provide more information and data to everybody in a more interactive way, to just help everybody provide better services and have better understandings. And other than that, I'm happy to take any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you so much, Chris. I as a data person, I love this. So real-time data dashboards, it's just incredible the progress we've seen. I wouldn't say progress, advancement, I think is similar term, but better term and more appropriate for what's happened in the last 16 months with your division in general, department overall, the level of engagement that we've had in terms of addressing individuals experiencing homelessness, as well as the impacts of homelessness, the regular engagement, participation in the regional action plans, answering questions, addressing concerns, developing the reporting link, responding to that reporting link, deploying outreach, case management, Caltrans, contractors to be able to address reports from that encampment link, and now this real-time data reporting dashboard. It's really incredible, Chris. I just want to thank you and your team, Lorraine and everyone that have just been working so hard over this period of time to get us where we are today. So thank you so much for this level of detail. It's exciting to see.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and we're happy to do it and looking forward to making things even better.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Any questions, comments for Chris?
I just want to add, Chris, thank you for all this work. It's the first time we've seen this in new format, and it's very informative and interactive, provides a lot of useful data that we can track over time, which I think will be helpful as we have new projects that are coming in. We can really see where the community was and how we're doing it. So I appreciate all that you and your team are doing to provide this. It's going to be a useful tool for us going forward.
Absolutely.
Thank you, council member.
Great. Thank you so much. Any other comments, questions? Anything to add from our residents here and business owners about priority areas, areas of concern, targeting outreach moving forward this month? Okay, just a note that we have a site visit planned at the day center for this month. Again, unless there's a priority region that we want to elevate, we will continue to focus and monitor and engage in the priority areas that have been identified for the Upper State Street region. So please know that those will continue to be reported on regularly. But we want to, again, just create the opportunity to learn about resources in the region that are supporting individuals experiencing homelessness. And I think it's a good opportunity to learn a little bit more there. I'm also planning next week on our community concerns wrap, if there's time, to just kind of touch on our 3-year strategic plan. We are scheduled to go before City Council on April 12th to report out on the progress of that plan. There's been data collected quarterly in terms of case management outreach with CityNet, but this is an opportunity to receive and report out on data from all of the collaborative partners as it relates to our high-level goals. We have goals around affordable housing, housing retention, homelessness prevention, as well as expanding case management and outreach. So we just wanted to take the opportunity to remind everyone that although this regional action plan is specific to individuals experiencing homelessness and the impacts of homelessness in the Upper State Street region, this is a part of other neighborhood wraps, as well as working groups and a steering committee of incredible leadership that is advancing strategic goals over the next several years. Any last comments, questions before we sign off this morning?
I just want to let everyone know that the Freedom Warming Center in Santa Barbara is opening up tonight due to a forecast of rain. It'll be at the First Presbyterian Church on 21 East Constance Avenue, going from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. tonight, and also Friday evening, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you sharing that. And again, it's been a wild weather winter season. So I just appreciate, again, the Freedom Warming Centers are with engagement of faith-based partners primarily in terms of the locations, but also the volunteers. Oversight is being provided by the Good Samaritan Shelter. Data collection is now happening through the homeless management information system. So again, we're able to connect with folks that we might not see in other places and other situations. But it is all because of volunteers that we're able to activate and take care of folks when there's inclement weather. So thank you for reminding us and that we do have activations this week because it's going to get cold again. Anything else for today?
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
I guess for Sergeant Dijon, I just got a feedback from our team. They were going to go check out the area again between the Speedy Way and Upper State Street. You know, because I know the clear out's going to be coming out, but my team doesn't. I guess there's a person specifically, but a couple people out there that they don't feel too comfortable with. Do you think we can get some support out there, possibly?
Yeah, have somebody give me a call and we'll meet them up there whenever.
Okay, perfect. Let me make sure I have your number real quick. Should have it. Perfect, I got it. I'll have them reach out to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks to both of you. Again, there's a couple of individuals that we weren't able to interact with for that exact reason. So appreciate the partnership there. And again, just making sure that we're able to relocate people safely and get that area cleared. Again, just a heads up, there's going to be movement. So we just want to be honest and open about that. So as you observe, please use the encampment report link as well as the individual link and reach back to us if you feel, again, it's something that we want to prioritize moving forward. And Natalie has put that water pollution hotline in there too. Again, just appreciate the background and information there, Natalie, and you and your team working swiftly to make sure that there's not negative impacts to our creeks and waterways. All right, thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and again, stay warm as the cool winter comes back, and hopefully some rain. So thank you all so much for your engagement today. We will see you next week. Appreciate it. Take care.